Smoke and Jay coming back at you with yet another Maximum Football update. It is June, which means that we are approaching closer to the release of the playtest and also the developer diary for Maximum Football. And in this video, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to get a little bit into the features that are in the game and ones that we would like to see in Maximum Football. One of the features that I would like to see that I noticed in Maximum Football is the total customization of your team. This is a feature that I do believe that current football games, and when I say current football games, I'm really talking about one, they do not have. They don't have the ability for you to customize your stadium, pick a stadium that you want to use for your team, design the field, give the field a color. There's football fields out there now that are red, and we all know that Boise State has the blue turf. We want to be able to make that for our own custom created team. Also, the team creator needs to be something in the vein of what Team Builder was for NCAA football. And what I mean by that is you're able to go in, pick what kind of jersey design you want, what your team's pants look like, what kind of pants design, the colors of your team. Team Builder had hands down the best way to make a team, the best tools. It provided you with the best tools to make a team with what you wanted it to look like. During this time, it was very fun to play NCAA on the Xbox 360. I know that a lot of people out there were creating high school leagues, college leagues, to be able to go in, edit logos, upload your own custom logos. Go grab your high school's logos and upload them, make a high school league. A lot of youngsters love playing football games on the PC and even on the console. Hopefully Maximum Football makes its way to the console. But these features are going to be in the game, but I hope that they go to the extent that they did with Team Builder to make the process a lot easier. Guys, Madden has a lot to be fearful of. This game, being on the Unreal 4 engine, could definitely pose a threat to Madden. But once again, enough topic. These are the features that we want to see in the game. Total customization, stadium, I would even say playbooks, which I don't know if that is going to be in the game. If any of you guys out there who played Front Page Sports, Football Pro, it had a phenomenal play creator. A play creator, where you had to do the timing of the play for the handoff and everything. And I would love to see it get that detailed, because some plays shouldn't work, and when you go into the details and you do the timing, how many seconds it's going to take for your quarterback to hand the ball off to your tailback, the blocking schemes, how long is it going to take for that guard to pull and get around to where he needs to go. These are the things that us real sim players will want to see. A lot of things in current football games, Madden, they kind of forget. There's nuances to the game of football. Things take a certain timing. Certain positions are very important. Certain phases of the game are very important. Madden always is shit with offensive and defensive line play. That should be the most dynamic part of the game. When you run a play, the blocking scheme just shouldn't be the same every single play. Even if it's based on what the defense play caller calls. Just because he calls a certain defense doesn't mean this should play out the same way. over and over again. Like in Madden, if you call 3-3-5, somebody calls inside zone. Okay, it's going to play out a certain way. If somebody has a 4-man front and you call inside zone out of shotgun, it's always going to play out a certain way. And that's where those type of games lose it, because it's not even down to this. It seems like it's down to the stats of it, but basically the play call overtakes what really goes on in the game of football, which is the battle in the trenches. That should really matter. Yeah, it's good to have your good quarterback with high stats and all that. The wide receivers with his abilities and the high stats. But at the end of the day, it all boils down to the trenches. And if they can get this right in maximum football, it will make it a truly phenomenal game, along with the customization. Now, we'll look at other aspects of the game and we'll move on from here. This game will be brought to you by the Unreal 4 engine, which isn't the Unreal 5 engine, but yet still a powerful engine for creators. Very easy to create animations in a very good looking game. I know I said animations probably made a lot of you guys out there cringe. We don't want a game full of animation. But nonetheless, if you just look at the capabilities of this engine, and other games that have tried to find their spot in this genre, graphics mean a lot. Axis Football, very deep career mode, franchise mode, but the graphics and animations just weren't there, couldn't hold people's attention. This game, Maximum Football, very in-depth, customization, play creator, everything else. But the one thing that held it back was the graphics of the game. And on Unreal Engine 4, they should have something that should be able to rival Madden. Remember, Madden is on the Frostbite engine, which is a first-person shooter engine. EA does not want to spend that much to find other programmers and developers to build a engine specifically for a sports game. It's a lot easier to have everybody that knows Frostbite code. Hey, we can all write games, no matter if it's a sports title, whatever, interchangeable parts. But you cannot develop a true football game on a first-person shooter engine. So hopefully they put a lot of time in developing this game with the Unreal Engine. I don't know what the Unreal Engine is capable of when it comes to sports games, but I do know that it will look good. Definitely look good. And if you combine that with the depth, you get a lot of, even if they do have animations in the game, as long as it's physics-based and real physics, we'll see where this thing goes. Okay, for this part right here, I have brought on my fellow colleague in running franchise leagues, CCFL on Madden. My boy Quasi is here to help us talk about some of the features that we know that are in the game and some of the things that we would like to see from guys who run franchises. Tell everybody what's up there, Quasi.
What's going on, man? Look, I just want this game to kick EA in the mouth, and I have faith. So let's get to it, man.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I don't know if it'll kick EA in the face as of yet, but it's definitely very promising. I'm gonna take it back a little bit, because back in April, remember early April, we were kind of excited because we thought we were going to get into the playtest, and my man over in the Discord, Kale, I think his name's KL, or I think he might pronounce it Kale. It's Kael, but he's the one that handles the announcements over in the Discord over there. And back on the 19th, that's when he let us know that he had some unfortunate news that the game wasn't quite ready for playtesting at that time. And it was supposed to be that upcoming Friday, and then they delayed it. But the next day, the 20th, is when they released screenshots, and we got to see what the game actually looks like. And I don't know from your viewpoint, Quas, but I was impressed by what I saw with the screenshots that they released for the game.
I'm good.
No, go ahead.
I was very impressed, but not only because of the Unreal Engine, because the Unreal Engine is obviously gorgeous. It's been used by so many major companies, but just the amount of detail like they put into the game
Oh
just
yeah,
this early on.
yeah, and
So
this game is on the Unreal 4 like engine. Now, when we get into features, there are certain things that we know based off of Maximum Football 2019 and 2020 that are going to be in the game. We know that we're going to have the base rule sets where you can play college rules, NFL rules, and Canadian rules. Which I don't know if Canadian rules are going to be there. I would hope that they would keep that in there. They also had referee style where you could set it fair. They call the game strict. You get a lot of penalties. So, there's a lot of things that I want to see, like as far as the college mode. You had your preseason recruiting, looked at your prospects and your redshirt players. Now, with all that being said, and this is the reason why I have you in this segment with me, from guys that run franchise, what are some of the tools and things that you think we need to see in this game, or you would like to see in this game?
well, from the rip, it's completely customizable teams and players and stuff, which we already know that's
Yes.
going to be a thing. That's a
Yes.
mainstay. To be able to build your league basically from the ground up, which is what they really sell. Even down to like what you were saying, like to the rules, like to be able to put in those kind of penalties what you want in there, what play styles you want. Not only that, to completely make your playbooks, not just like pick and choose from pre-rendered plays and stuff, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Because if you play Madden, the only way we were talking about this in the green room, the only way you can really minimize that and to get rid of the bad plays is to do a play cooldown, which nobody really wants
No,
that.
no, because I feel like that restricts. And if a game plays like sim
It's supposed
style,
to.
yeah, like it's supposed to, a play shouldn't have the same result, and you shouldn't have to manipulate the defense in a certain way just to stop. Just one play. Like the game should happen more organically. And
I
I talked
completely
about
agree.
this in sections before. I don't think that sports games, well, EA specifically concentrates on offensive and defensive line play. So
No.
it's an afterthought. You know, it's all about the flash. With the quarterback, wide receiver.
Mhm.
All
Big run plays and stuff like that.
yeah. And good.
No, when you know that they always say, the big coaches always say the game's won in the trenches, and you being a coach for as long as you have, you know how important that the big front is. Like
Yeah.
without them, the play doesn't happen.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
and back to the aspect, and I think about like a lot of the little bit of the hiccups that we have as far as running leagues. How are they going to handle the draft? Are they going? Is there going to be? I would say with 70% certainty, I'm hoping that they do have online play in this
I was
first.
gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, because that's where the money's made. Like it. Not to say I won't play it. If it's a single player and the franchise mode is out the ass, I'll play the shit out of it. But what's going to keep this game alive is it has to have an online connected franchise.
I
And good.
No, I completely agree. No,
Yeah.
I was just gonna agree with your point. Go ahead.
Yeah. And like some of the things that are a little bit a pain in the ass, like when we get to the draft, what's like the guy who created the league is the only person that can pause the draft. And that created a lot of hiccups for us. Like, is there anything else that you can think of as far as like running a league, a feature that you would like to see them add into this game.
Well, it's from not only from everything we already have, like we bring it up to drafts. The game is so customizable to the fault. Like that's the big selling point of the game.
Yeah.
Like you would have to believe that the draft you'll be able to upload your own rosters, even down to their abilities and to their growth.
Yeah.
As far as the hiccups to like, okay, so you have to be here. Let's say you created the league, Jay, right?
Mhm.
You would have to be there if they took the motto from EA. Let's just assume that you can have so you have you and your other commissioners, your committee or whatever. Let's just assume that they will be smart enough to realize that maybe not you can't be there. So you just set your draft board up, you'd have one of us run instead of you having to be there. What I'm trying to say is if you trust another individual with the commissioner powers in your league, then they should be able to hit the damn pause button all the time.
I agree.
Does that make
Yes.
sense?
Yes.
To what
And,
I'm saying? Something as small as that.
and the thing that I would like to see the off season be a little bit more robust too.
Oh man. Oh dude. Like actual let's say I don't even know how they would do college stories because you, they're fictional air quotation teams.
Yeah, well, I'm even
But
talking to like the mini games. Like when you go back to the old Madden series, like remember you could do the whole bench press thing. You could run
oh,
the 40. And
draft combine.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. And I would like to see a lot more stuff for like as far as developing players. You know, what I mean, stuff like in the field, like in franchise mode, like and when you go into practice mode in Madden, that's all it
Yeah.
is your guys out on the field and you're just running the same plays over and over again.
Yep.
Just think how much better it would be if you could have specific coaches and like, okay, you know what? I'm going into practice mode, but I'm going to work out my linemen. And it's all about just blocking. You know what I mean? And you're able to run them through drills, and everybody else isn't on the field. It's just your 5 down linemen running drills. And then, okay, I want to work with my wide receivers. And you go over there just practicing running routes. Running backs, you know, you practice, your timing on plays.
So it actually so not only do you build chemistry with the line, but it also provides boosts not only for the following week's game, but permanent boosts because
Yes.
you're actually training your skills. Well, let's build on this then. So you say you want that for practice, so let's throw it back to the offseason for the draft, right? So maybe not do many game modes, but have your scout and yourself, the coach, there on the sidelines for draft, and you can actually see the top prospects run the plays. You can actually see the 40. You can see that stuff. So you build a relationship with these players. So
Yeah.
you know who you're gonna pick off the rip.
Oh, yeah.
Like you'll be able to see that kind of stuff.
Now, of course, I think that right there would be something down the road. I mean,
Well,
that's
obviously,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, that's something they could definitely build on because that would be a cool aspect, and it just wouldn't make the off season a click of the button. You know, when you
Right.
play in these franchises, everybody just wants to get just there's nothing interesting going on. You're just looking at a whole bunch of numbers, like you said. There's no
Nope. There's
getting
no
a
personality.
yeah, just like whenever you invite somebody for a private workout, imagine okay where it's be a little bit of a cut scene, but with a little bit of just like I don't know what you would call it. Uh,
Just run some drills in your practice arena. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? You just
where
you
you
see
just
that.
the guy based on you watch him and you get to actually see him, and then okay, we invited that guy for a private workout, and he's a stinker. Okay, we're probably going to pass on him, or
Right.
wow, he really impressed us. That would make off season more robust, and
And
just like
that's
it's just I'm so tired of just like the clicking and getting through stuff because what does practice mode really even do in Madden? Like,
nothing.
no, the week 4 game, I would like to see it broke down by position to where, okay, well, we're over here working with our DBs and have them outfitted as such, like if it's half pads and they just have the shoulder pads on and the shorts
Mhm.
and they're running the drills. And I think that, would add something to the game. Hopefully that's something that they're working on. You know what I mean?
It's not even just a draft. Like even free agency has gotten to the point where it's just clicky because it's basically whoever has free agency is literally if you have the money and you have enough interest in the team, air quote, more money, then you can get it basically any free agent you want.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even matter. Like imagine having an arc where it's like, oh, this guy grew up his whole life. He was a fan of this team, and all he ever wanted to do was put on that jersey. So you would
Absolutely.
get a bigger boost just for that alone, not even the money.
Yeah.
Or somebody, or even before you get to the off season and contract negotiation, which is like, I really like it here. Y'all took a chance on me. I'm not even going to take a big pay hit.
Yeah.
Like a little thing like that. It's just small stuff,
Yeah.
small thing.
And I think and I believe that Modus gets this. And even if that's something that we don't get in this first rendition of the game, if it
Right.
has success, I do believe that these are like some of the features that they're gonna build upon to make it the sandbox. That's what they're claiming. This is going to be the ultimate sandbox experience. And I don't anymore. I don't need the big names. EA's been the big dog on the block for so long, where I'm just kind of just tired because going into it, we already know who are going to be the best teams in Madden.
Yep, off the rip.
Yeah, okay, we know the Bengals are going to be real good, and we know the Rams are going to be real good. So
Yep.
that kind of, it halfway shits on a franchise, when you with what we do, the whoever, unless it's a terrible user.
Unless you do a draft. Unless you do a draft, you already know, like, the top tier teams.
Yes, absolutely.
It's the only way.
And
But
yeah. You got anything else to
yeah,
add in?
we can talk about features all day long, and I love it. But the most important thing, and I know Modus Games hears this, the most important thing is the gameplay. Because if
Yes.
the gameplay ain't right, you can add all the bells and whistles. Looking at somebody we've been talking about, you can add all the bells and whistles you want, but the game ain't gonna be fun to play.
Yeah.
So
I think their big hurdle is, and this is what's hurt the game, and I've mentioned this before. A lot of people say the graphics don't matter, and Maximum Football was a very in-depth game. Axis Football, very in-depth game, but people couldn't get over the look of it, and like you said, and to some extent the gameplay moved wonky, tackles didn't look right, plays didn't play out right. If they can find a way to nail that and have it look good, I think they're on to something.
oh, they already are. How many times have we just had the conversation of having a full 32-man custom team where
Oh,
you just make your own helmet, jerseys, the stadium, the whole shebang,
oh yeah,
and it's yours.
yeah, and I know that years ago that when NCAA football 14 came out, we were making high school leagues.
Yep.
People were making their alma maters, and hey man, we got all the teams of our local high schools from around the area, and if they bring in that something in the form of that team builder, oh brother,
Man, because you can do a bunch of stuff. You don't even just have to do custom teams like your own. You can go like you said, high school. You can go college. Shoot, you can go old school teams, like stuff you can't see. So
yes, and to put a pin in this, just to let everybody know that we are about less right now than, I would say, 20 days out. The playtest starts on the 24th of this month, and it runs all the way till July 10th. So
let's go.
those of you who are lucky enough to get in there, hey, you're going to get a chance to get your hands on the game, and just don't get in there and play the game. Give feedback. A lot of people just get in there, hey, I'm in the play test. They play, oh, this game's shit. No, you're in there to help them develop the game. If you see things that are wrong, file that bug report. These features,
Inarticulate thought.
yeah, and if there's features you would like to see in there, hey, drop it in the Discord. But with that, I'll bring this section to a close. I'd like to thank you, Quasi, for being on this part of our Maximum Football update.
Hey man, thank you, and good luck to everybody who watching to get into the playtest. I wish you luck.
Sure. All right. Until next time, this is your place to get Maximum Football news. Smoking Jay, Quasi 91, out.